Hello guys, it's Native and today's video is a bit different because today we're going to be going over my day one free-to-play account, but mostly this idea comes from I want to do content that I like. I'm kind of tired of, running my channel in AFK mode because I've been trying to save up money for a computer so I can start editing videos and make videos that I'm proud of, but I asked myself, I can't make videos right now that I'm proud of, so at least let's make videos that I actually want to do and I enjoy. So some of these ideas may be really boring, okay? But every day before I record a video, I'm gonna ask myself, what do I want to do today on Epic 7? What makes me want to play the game, what is fun for me, and those are the videos you're going to see now. So you'll only see RTA if I want to do RTA, and actually GVG you'll see it every time because I'm actually really excited about Natelings and about our new guild and how well we're climbing. So that's going to stay on. Patch notes are still, I'm actually enjoying it a lot because it's one free day of content, and I actually try to make it as short as possible so you guys can watch it and you don't have to watch the whole thing, only if you want to hear my opinions. So I think I like the format that I have for patch notes, so that's going to stay the same. But right now I want to do videos that I like so I can actually say in the end of the day that even if the video does poorly, even if people don't care about the video, even if people don't like it, I'm gonna like it, right? I did what I like. That's something I need right now, and those are gonna be the videos you see. So, like the title and the thumbnail of this video say, today's video is about reviewing my account. It's basically a hidden flex, let's be real. But I kind of want to show everyone that a day one account, free to play, that has never spent a dollar in this game, a euro, any currency that you can think of. I've spent zero in this game, okay? And I can show you that you can still be competitive in this game, and you can have really, really good units as long as you have good RNG, and everyone has bad RNG anyway, so everyone's gonna get that, but sometimes you can get good RNG. So we're gonna check out my units, my favorite units, my strongest units, and you're gonna kind of get a grasp of what things I can rock as a free-to-play player. So let's check that out. First, we're going to go over the units that I own and the CPs mostly, because we're only going to kind of go over my favorite units and the units I own and I plan to build or not, because I'm not going to show you my whole account because that's going to take half an hour of your life away just to see some random dude's account, right? I just want to show you what free-to-play, day one, everyday playing means, okay? Because I've been playing every day. I've never missed a daily since day one, and that's what it means, okay? So we're going to go into CP, and we're going to see what type of CP spread you can see here. We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 100k plus CP units. A lot of my other units can get above this, but CP doesn't really matter. It's just to kind of give you a grasp of how good the gear on these units is. So we have 11 KCP, and then the spread below that is pretty even as well. We have 97 and 60, it doesn't matter, but as you can see, the spread is pretty even. We don't have a lot of 80s, but then we have a ton of 70s, which are mostly the support units. Even our Blood Moon Haste is 70 KCP, even though he's a beast. So CP really doesn't matter. But as you can see, this is basically the spread of my CP on my account from a day one player. What else do we want to see? We actually want to check out the units, okay? So as you can see, Pavel for me is one of the units that I have that I think is pretty good, but I would not call him my best unit at all. But as you can see, he is my highest CP unit. So CP really doesn't mean too much about the thing, but I do like to plus 15 on my units, as you can see by these first four, and like I just like to highly invest on my units. So we're gonna check out some of my units' gear as well, because I kind of wanted to discuss about the units that I have and what I want to improve on them. For example, this one, I like this weapon a lot. This weapon, if I could get one that was just like this, with a bit more speed or attack, would be perfect. But honestly, HP on DPS is not the best stat, but it can always be handy for those counters from a SSB, so you don't get one shot. So let's say HP is not the worst stat ever, but this is a high rolling sword. It has a lot of crit chance, and when you have a lot of crit chance, it means that you can have a lot of crit damage on other pieces. So every time you get a piece with a lot of crit chance, remember, you can get another piece with full crit damage and no crit chance, and they will balance each other out. So if you roll a lot of crit chance on a piece, never feel bad. It's very, very good, okay? His helmet is average to say best. I mean, it has good crit chance, good attack, good crit damage, but it's not great. good. It has a good chest. Its chest is definitely good for a purple. It rolled maxed speed on level 12, and he rolled 4 speed after that. Unfortunately, it didn't actually get more speed from the reforge, or did it? Maybe it rolled 4-3 and then he got 1 speed, maybe something like that. But it's pretty solid piece of gear. And as I said, now I can have high crit damage on other pieces, and it doesn't matter because in the end he's gonna have enough crit chance to be able to do things. This is just the event necklace. It rolled pretty good. Rolled into speed crit chance only, not the highest rolls ever, but it rolled onto the only 2 very, very good stats that it had. Could have gone attack, but it's fine. This is fasty enough. It has crit damage. It's average. Okay. This one is just a weird sword that I made. Okay. Don't judge me. All right. It has crit damage. It has a little bit of crit chance, and it has flat attack. Okay. I reforged this because it looked decent, and honestly, the health rolls it got, like it rolled once into health, okay? This thing rolled once into health, and it has 458, so the one roll that it got that was kind of bad was actually really high. So I don't mind this sword at all. It has crit chance, crit damage, and it has flat attack, quite a bit of it actually, because it rolled a lot into attack, unfortunately. But still helps out with the damage because it's an attack piece with a flat attack, so a double attack is really, really good. These boots, they roll okay. They're just event boots, but they roll decently. Rolled once into effect resistance, but it was only once. Has decent speed, decent crit chance, and decent crit damage, so it is fine. My Spez, I kind of not really proud at him about him at the moment. He's very RNG. I swapped into a crit chance, to a crit damage necklace, but I really don't have enough of these that are like actually really good. As you can see, this is just meh. Like all the thing you can the only thing you can see here that is kind of okay. It's the 10% crit chance. Because this is not reforged, so it was a max roll, but it's really not that important. But yeah, it definitely works. If I still want to use him, he's still within the speed bracket. Even if he misses a stun, he has enough attack to actually kill a squishy unit, so it's not going to be a problem. And he still kills dark units 100% of the time because he has 87% crit chance. So it's not where I want him to be, and there's not much I want to see on him. He has amazing boots, okay? These boots are crazy, all right? They're not crazy in terms of like they rolled into all the better stats. No. It's hit set, unfortunately, but it has very good subs, and it rolled super high. I think this is a max roll thing, because like it's 13% crit damage, 24% defense, and 24% attack. Like, that's an insane amount of stats right there. If you add them up, like it goes over 70%, I think. So it's really, really crazy, this sword. Probably not 70%, but definitely above 65%. So it's a very, very nice sword. And a very, very nice boot, okay? Other than that, I don't really have anything to say about that. Now, Tempest Turin. I love her. Unfortunately, she's a bit too slow for me to use in RTA. That's why you never see her a lot. But I actually use her as a pocket pick. If people ban my Blingo, and if I get a full setup to use her, she's definitely good. And she pairs up really nicely with Pavel, because if Pavel takes a turn, it has Sashitans, it boosts her up, and it makes it kind of okay. And also, if there's a counter DZ, anyone that debuffs her or does some damage to her, she'll get CR on her own. So yeah, I like her a lot. I just don't use her a lot, but actually in PvE content, I actually use her a lot, because sometimes in Hall of Trials you have Thieves and Bleeding, and she's really good for that, or Thieves and Silence, and that's really, really good as well. So she's a decent unit for all those things. And she self-cleanse, she gets LCR, she's a really good unit. I'm not going to go over the gear because the gear is not actually something amazing. She has decent pieces of gear, like this is okay. Has good subs, low rolling, high rolling, not great subs. I mean, it's all very okay, right? But it's not amazing, definitely. This one's okay for a free piece of gear, and I never really have any boots with good DPS stats, but this one has speed, crit damage, and he has a lot of effectiveness, and she kind of needs it, so it's good on her. But yeah, as you can see, the units I don't really craft too much, those are the ones that you're gonna kind of see that the gear is faltering, okay? Now the Blingo Boy. I would say Blingo Boy is basically my best unit, mostly because he does have some pretty nutty gear in terms of like how it rolls. For example, let's start with the sword. It's not perfect, but it started off as a max crit chance roll, so it was 5% roll, okay? And it rolled 43% crit damage. It actually rolled 38 or 39%, and then when I reforged, it went 43. But it has max crit chance roll, and it rolled all into crit damage, pretty high crit roll, crit damage roll. So it's a very nice sword. Would have been nicer if it had attack or speed, right? Yes. but it would also be a god tier piece if he had that. This is not god tier, but this is a very, very nice sword, and it kind of helps him have a lot of crit damage. His helmet is pretty good too. High rolling into crit chance, which is really good. Crit damage wasn't that good, but the attack is nice. So it has high crit chance, high attack, decent HP, and the crit damage is not bad either. So it's a decent piece for sure. And then there's the chest. The chest, like I really get lucky with purples. I really do. Like they either roll good or they just do things like I honestly in the end you've seen my Pavel chest. My Pavel chest is basically like this. It looks really similar to this, but it has 2 more speed, 4% more crit chance, my crit damage. So one day I would like to put my Pavel piece on him because I do want to make my Blingo as best as it can be. I kind of want to do that, but I really would need another crit chance piece of another speed piece. For example, if I could replace this, because this is not something I consider amazing. This is one of his worst pieces. If I could make a better necklace than this with speed set, or no, actually, I need a lot of crit set. So I would need a better piece than this, which is pretty hard. Again, purple that rolled really good. Unfortunately, it rolled at plus 12, 3 speed and not 4. 4 would have been nice. Yeah, I would have to replace, for example, the boots. Boots are hard, by the way, guys. Like I said, I don't have a lot of crit damage, a lot of DPS boots with speed main. I don't have them. Okay, I tried crafting boots. They never get it. It's hard. It's a bad RNG, like we always say. But this one's really good because 146 flat attack for Blingo equates to about 20% attack. So if these boots had 20% attack, it would give this much amount of attack to Blingo. So because these boots have 23% attack, and this is basically a 43% attack boot for Blingo. And that's why I keep this, and that's why I think it's good. And the crit chance is decent, okay? It's a high roll, it didn't roll into it, so I'm okay with it. So, yeah, that's why I think these boots are hard to replace. They have flat attack, and attack percent, and honestly, it rolled really nice for Blingo. That's why I was able to make the swap to speed boots without losing too much attack. I only lost about 180 attack or 200 attack, so it was not bad at all. So yeah, this is the Blingo boy. He uses on idle shears and he uses the greater attack buff thing. Definitely 100% my favorite unit, especially after I made him a bit faster. I would like him to be faster than this, okay? But he's really hard to build. It's hard to build. This crit chance imprint makes it kind of easier to build. But if you want really high crit damage, really high attack, really high speed, you're going to have to sacrifice crit chance, and then it becomes an RNG unit, and there's no worst feeling when you have a good unit, and he doesn't crit, and he doesn't do damage. So for me, I'd rather have him on 95.7 crit chance, other than having with more DPS and high speed, which is something I could do, but then I would have to sacrifice crit chance, and that would be really bad for me. So that's it. Now I'm working on my Leo. Is my next project is going to be my next Re4G. Okay, I already started with the boots. These are 36% effectiveness boots. So this Leo is also very good. I would like to replace this sword. I actually have a better sword, which is an event sword. This one. It gives me more speed, more effectiveness, but then I lose some DPS stats, and I kind of didn't want to do that. But even he would get more effectiveness and speed, so technically for his role it's better. But I actually like him to do some damage as well, so I'll try to craft the perfect piece of gear for him. But we're gonna go over the gear. He has a lot of effectiveness, speed onto all his gear. That's one of the requirements for a unit like this. You need effectiveness and speed, and you need the rolls to go either to effectiveness or speed. If it goes to something else, you really need it to roll high. For example, this one is a good sword, even though the speed rolls were not amazing. 25% effectiveness is very good, and it has crit chance, which helps with the DPS build. This one I think is very, very meh, but decent speed, decent effectiveness, so we'll take it. This one's very good. Crit chance necklace, which is good, and it rolled into speed and rolled into effectiveness. That's also what you want. And this one is weird. It rolled into DPS stats, basically no speed, but it is already reforged, so it's a free piece of gear for me. And it has crit chance, attack, and speed, so it kind of leans into the DPS build that I want for my Leo as well, because I always want him to do damage, just in case, like, if he has to stun lock someone, I want to make sure that he can actually finish the job, other than just getting killed, right? And then the boots, yeah, I already showed them, they're really good. Right now I need another Sachetans, because my plus 30, I put it on Pavel, because I feel like it's more important on him than on Leo at the moment. So I need to fix that. My Karen, there's no point, like, looking at this. This is basically all free gear. There's nothing to look here, like, other than this helmet being 30% crit damage. like there's just nothing really here to see. I don't care about Kieran. I use him a lot in PvE, and that's why he's here. Haste. I try to make him good. But I don't have enough leftover gear to make him actually really good. So he just has very averagely okay gear. Like most of the most of the things have decent subs for him, but this is not amazing. Like it's definitely not something I can be proud of. But he's here. He exists, and he actually is pretty good in the Earth exploration. I like him a lot there because he does land a lot of debuffs. He puts the Vampiric Touch, which helps with sustain with your team. If you have a fail and you get debuffed, the sustain will really help and keep your teammates from dying. So he does his job there. He got the AoE and he does a lot of damage with his S3. So he does his job there. Assassin Seed is a pocket pick. I'm gonna change his build to a better build. He's not fast at all. I only pocket pick him if I'm forced to make the enemy ban something, right? If I want to force the enemy, like if the enemy wants to go hardcore cleave, but I want to make sure that I bring my units, I take Acid because every cleaver knows that they can't really gamble with Acid because he can have high damage and he can be really fast. So yeah, he's not great, but he's here, he exists. This is my spec setup, you know, Oxlots. He's kind of DPS build, 3k attack, not a lot of crit damage, but he also has a crit chance necklace, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, but he exists. I mean, that's it. He's a DPS thingy, because when I used to do Spez comp, sometimes if something went wrong, he could finish up the fight because he had damage, right? So that was basically the point. And then we have Horado, which is slowly getting faster. Right now, he's not breaking 270 because he doesn't have his helmet. This is not his helmet at the moment. I just had to put his helmet on someone else that needed the speed more. So I only have a 12 speed here that I'm not going to reforge. But the rest I've been reforging. It reforges into 17s and 18s speeds. And the sword is god tier because it's free, no need for reforge, and 21 speed. So, but that's the thing. That's something you need to know. I'm free to play day one player, and I would consider myself a off meta cleaver. I use off meta units and I cleave only. That's what I do. But as you can see, my cleave units are not the fastest. So you need to understand that to cleave in this game, your enemy might force you into a speed battle, right? But you always have pocket picks to stop yourself from getting cleaved and to annihilate a cleave. So it's really easy to counter a cleave. Therefore, you don't need to outspeed your opponent. For example, if I really want to win a fight and I start picking cleave, they start picking cleave, I pick my Chat Crow and I pick my ML Haste and I win. Because they can't kill it because they're too tanky. My Chat Crow can solo their teams, and that's just how it works, okay? Speaking of Chat Crow, now we're gonna get into the zone of things that don't matter. This is my DPS series. She's full free gear. Ken, full free gear as well. My tank Jichkise, very, very nice. Gotta reforge her sometime. Imagine how much HP she's gonna get and how much more damage she's gonna get after reforge. This is a pretty good build, let's be real. She does a lot of damage on defense break. She's got a lot of HP. She has pieces like this, which has high rolling attack and a lot of HP stats. And she does have 66% effectiveness, which is most of the time enough to land at least one reset. So she does that job too. So I like her a lot. I don't use her because she's a bit too slow for my playstyle. But honestly, as a pocket pick for a bait, she's very, very nice. Lilica, she's now getting reforged as well. She's like Leo. She's now getting a little bit of the lovin'. Already reforged this, probably not worth it, but it had a lot of high rolls into it, so I was like, why not? and then yeah, I'm increasing her effectiveness right now. She's at 171, but after reforge, she should be at like 180, very, very solidly. And now we come to Chad Crow. Chad Crow is legit my best unit. Okay, when I say best unit, he has the most efficient gear. Everything he owns is really good. Okay, so let's look at it. All right, let's see. Other than the crit chance there, all right, but as you can see, he only has 13% crit chance and 88% crit damage. So it's very efficient still. So let's look at this: high speed, high effect resistance, a little bit of health, very, very nice. This one, very high defense, speed, effect resistance, very nice piece of gear as well. This one, same thing. High defense, high speed, HP. That's all you want on this character. And all these pieces roll pretty well. This one, don't care about attack. Effectiveness is nice, speed is okay, but 40% defense. So very nice piece for defense. Boots, very decent. HP, flat HP, high defense, effectiveness, and effect resistance. Very, very nice stats for Crow. But now the last piece, the one I cannot replace because he rolled too good, okay? I cannot replace this piece. The ring. It's free, but look at it. I can't replace this. It's a max roll into speed, and he rolled 35% effect resistance. I will never be able to replace this, because max roll into speed and still having 35% effect resistance, this is a crazy piece, so I cannot replace this. But as I will reforge this guy, he still needs 2 more. I think he'll get closer to 100 KCP, which is just going to be like a little bit of an OCD type thing, right? And that's it. My effectiveness my effectiveness Dark Corvus. He has high effect resistance, high effectiveness. That's his build. Very squishy, very slow. He's low-key kind of useless, but I use him in my comp because I have high sustain to make Dark Corvus things happen. He's plus 14 because I forgot to do what? I think it was S1? Oh yeah, he's missing 15 damage on S1. Probably got to get on that one day, but yeah, nothing on his gear is really impressive. We're not going to talk about him. Now, this guy is great, all right? High speed, high attack. Most of his gear has attack percentage, crit chance, effectiveness, and speed. Those are the things that I want on him because I want him to be able to stun, I want him to be able to crit, I want him to be able to have a high attack, and I want him to be fast enough. So that's his build. Most of his gear is going to have a mixture of this type of stats. And yeah, I just love this guy to death. He's one of my favorite units. He has decent gear, not amazing gear, but for example, these boots, I believe they're really, really nice. Look at all that crit chance, HP, defense, crit damage. This is an amazing boot for a bruiser. He's not really a bruiser, but he benefits from all these stats. So as you can see, he has really high defense. I kind of invested on it because if I want to swap this one day to a water origin, he will take enough damage and he's squishy enough to take enough damage to proc it, but at the same time he's tanky because against DPS units he's gonna be able to tank a hit because he has a lot of defense, right? So that's the point. He's tanky without being tanky enough to not proc Water's Origin. So that's his play. Gunther, high attack. I kind of use him as a meme. His gear, I even have a piece of gray gear. This is not great. I never really bothered to make a really, really good Gunther. And honestly, over time, every time I had to build someone on attack, I kind of strip him. But he does his job, honestly. Like, this character is so good and he's so like undermined that I can use him safely in Guild Wars and everything. He does his job. He tanks. He does all those things, and his gear is really not good. So if you have a Gunther, if you want to give it a shot, please. He's a very good unit. Okay, he's a very, very nice unit. If you can make him fast with high attack, with decent tank stats, the boy will carry you. He's a very, very nice unit. This is my fast Oxlots. I reforged this piece of here because it was like high effectiveness, high speed, high crit damage. I was like, all right, this rolled okay, worthy of the reforge, but that's basically it. I just wanted to make him kind of fast so I can have a unit to push C-Dom with a Soul Burn. That's why he has Stagger Hells, not max, but whatever. I wanted to have a fast unit that I could Soul Burn to push Stagger Hell and then push someone else. I built him because I want to make a DPS build for the ACID, and I had a theory crafted team like almost a year ago. I had a theory crafted team for old Sid before he got buffed, but then I never got a second auxiliary LUTs until recently. So yeah, the only noteworthy things is like this one rolled kind of okay, even though it's event gear, and there's nothing else really that is like worth seeing. Basar, kind of a meme, tanky, 2000 defense, 200 speed. No effectiveness because I normally run him with someone that can soul burn, but I have him on Abyssal Crown so he can actually, RNG through things. That's it. He's just a tank slow now. I don't want to play him with meta anymore, so I build him in high defense. He has defense, HP, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, it's defense, HP. That's why he has so much defense, and he really throws people off because sometimes they grab their Charon and try to kill him, and they fail to kill him with Charon. So he's kind of a bait unit right now. He still strips with Soulburn. He still Abyssal Crowns. He still does his job, and he's just fast enough to exist, So that's his build for the moment. Another one, Eaton, just as tanky as you possibly can make him, and you put him on Bastion, and he will protect your DPS, and it doesn't matter if your DPS gets countered. The Eaton boy will make sure your DPS doesn't die from single target damage from counters, so very, very nice unit. This is my effectiveness made. Same thing, high effect resistance, high effectiveness. I know nowadays these levels of effect resistance are not good enough anymore, but I also don't want to increase them because I don't want to lose effectiveness with pieces like this. I could definitely get a better ring, but I mean, she does her job for me. She's fast enough to get the attack buff and revive buff. She's not tanky at all, but I don't really need her to be tanky. I just want her to be fast enough, carry this, and that's it. I don't really focus too much on these meta support units because I don't really have too much of a different build for them. I could build her on counter Celestine. That's a very interesting build that, in my opinion, I think is very good. But I would need to put God Gear on her, and she would never be able to be fast enough to be a decent attack buffer for my team. So yeah, that's basically it. She's my first ML5 though, so I kind of have to have her, right? Vivian, I'm was building her for Banshee so she could do some damage, but I refuse. I refuse to make her what's it called? I refuse to make her 6-star because I really don't want to use her. I just want her for Banshee, and I don't really farm Banshee, so that's it. Now we're getting into the realm of things that I don't really care about. The menial, Pocket Pick, not even fully upgraded yet, but she exists. And Cecilia, actually a pretty good unit that I have. I like her. Sort of fast, sort of tanky, but not really. Yeah, she's not great, but she's a good fire unit. She's a good single target defense breaker with S1, and she has a lot of AOE for the expedition. So she's a very good unit there for me. But I never really thought about investing on this, even though I did have someone that follows me that had a 260 something Cecilia that was really good. She's definitely a unit that if you invest heavily into her, she's really nice. But for me, she's either a gatekeeper holder or an Aureus holder. And then I use her sometimes to tank stuff because she has decent HP, very low defense. So that's what you want for an Aureus holder, just high HP. And she's fast, she can interrupt, and she's an immunity buffer. So those are her roles. FCS, yeah, legit gonna skip. Like mine is terrible. She's legit garbage. I don't like her. There's nothing I can do for her that is off meta. Like I had to build her on attack to make her off meta. A lot of people build HP, crit damage, crit chance, which I think is the best build for her. But really, I have no place for her. Like, I don't know. This is a weird unit for me. Like, I had to build her because she's an ML5. I'm free to play. Every time I get an ML5, I get like really excited and I have to build it somehow. But just like Dark Corvus, I can't commit to her because I don't have a way to build her off meta. Like the only off meta way I could build her was like 40k HP Cecilia, but that's insane. I don't think I could do it. And the shields can easily get stripped, and she would have no effect resistance. So I don't know. I have her like this. She's okay. She does her job if I have to use her, but I never use her. Some people don't even know I have her. ML Haste. Now we get into the juiciness again. ML Haste, one of my best units as well. All his gear is really like tailored for him. Everything has speed, HP, flat HP. That was the goal. Everything that can have HP, flat HP, it has it, okay? This gear took me a while to craft, but everything has either speed, HP, flat HP, effect resistance. That was the build. That was what I wanted, and that is what I got. Now I'm working on doing the self-imprint. I'm trying to get more haste dupes or to get the arena slates so I can put on him because if I can get him to the 18% health, he's actually going to break the 27k health, and health on him means damage. And not only does it mean damage, Portrait multiplies that damage by 0.20, so it is what it is. By 20%, and then he does more damage. I like him. I think he's a DPS sided, but he's also very tanky because he has very, very high base defense. So there's no wrongdoing. Just go speed, high HP with flat HP, so you can actually make sure he does a lot of damage, and he's amazing. G Purgus. I'm trying to rework him right now, but I don't have crit gear, so that's why I have two pieces like this that are extremely shit, and then one that is okay but very DPS sided, and then another one that is very DPS sided. So I don't know. Like his build is very off putting, but he has nice base stats, so that's why he has that face right now. He has friendship level 10 face because guess what? He sucks, but he does his job. He's on counter. He's kind of tanky, but I'm actually trying to work on making the same build, but make him faster, higher effectiveness, and a bit more HP and a bit more defense. So I want to make him tankier, faster, with higher effectiveness. Other than this, I have built characters that I don't really do much about. So that's it for the account review, guys. That's legit it. I have nothing else to tell you. This is my account. This is the type of level of gear and things you're going to find on a day one player that plays every single day. Wastes all his energy every single day, never slacks. The only thing that I can slack on is saving up on these. But honestly, this is not slacking because look at my energy. I use my energy. I just save sometimes a lot of energy and I do it all in one go. But that's basically about it, guys. I try to play the game efficiently. I try to play the best way I can, and I spend $0 in the game because I don't like spending money on mobile games. I'm a bit of a whale on PC games. Every time I play CS:GO, every time I play a MMO, I dump my wallet into it. But for some reason, I just can't overcome the mental barrier for a mobile game because I'm a PC gamer initially. So pay to win games are something that don't take my money, and all mobile games are pay to win. I mean, there's ones that are more pay to win than others. For example, Epic 7 is very free to play friendly, but yes, you can open your wallet and have an instant advantage against a free to play player. So that's just how it is. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And that's basically it. Making videos that I like. I'm not going to make a meme review for this one because it's probably long enough. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be making videos that I enjoy. And that's it. I enjoyed this video. I hope you did as well. Check out the links for the description for my Discord. And that's about it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed and see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.